Hello, everyone. You're welcome to a new episode of Leadership and Leverage, where we have conversations, candid conversations with executive leaders, founders, CEOs, and decision makers at innovative companies all around the world. And today we have the co CEO of Lux Empire, Vanessa. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. I'm really honored to be invited by you and be here today. And I'm so
Yeah.
happy to share, like you say, more about leadership and leverage that.
Thank you for accepting to do this with us. First of all, I wanted to ask you, for the past 2 years, you've been leading as a co-CEO at Lux Empire. How did it all start for you? Before Lux Empire, what was it like for you personally?
Oh my God. I started like Empire 2 years ago, but because this is another company I already led, but it's been
Okay.
like more than 20 years I'm in business.
Okay.
And I'm started in 2000, like more than 20, 2003, I think, something like that. And I always
Yeah, that's a
people
long
to
time.
have more than 1,000 employees. So
Mhm.
before I was always busy. So always leading, always having other type of challenge goals. And
Mhm.
when I started Lux Empire, it's because it was a way to, how you say that, put everything together in one place. And I have an amazing team. So yeah, before that, I was always looking for helping others.
Nice, nice, nice. So Lux Empire is an investment management company. And from the little I read, it has representative in 23 countries all around the world.
Yes.
How how do you before you started or led the team at Lux Empire, did you have any investment management background or knowledge?
Yes, for sure. I
Oh,
was I was the general director of a showroom for real estate investment
okay.
international. So I put everyone together, like investors, real estate, big persons, governments, and I myself I invest because we say we need to prove everyone the result with ourselves. So. I buy a home, I make some other type of investment, and my experience, that's why I co-founded the Lux Empire, because we say it's something it's not teaching to other people like what is really important. So we have sometimes really wrong path because we were taught like that since we are younger, yeah, go buy your home. That's the first one. Work hard, go, go up in the positions in the company.
Yeah.
It's nothing bad. People can be like
Mhm.
that, but we are in leadership entrepreneur, and we say, "Oh, go buy your home." That's the first thing. You are so proud to buy your home, but an investment is not really the first step. You should really do it to be wealthy. And I think
Okay.
a lot of millionaires will agree with me.
Yeah, yeah. So your experience in real estate investment played a role in founding Lux Empire, right?
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense because, but now, one thing I wanted to ask you was this: managing 23 managing reps across 23 countries
Mm-hmm.
is not easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do it as a leader?
A leader is someone like can really lead in the sense like you need to see the other people like a human being. But being an organization too, really need to be careful to have boundaries, because
Mhm.
it can be hard working with family and friends. Inside
Sure.
the organization, you need to respect the hierarchy like it's implanted, because that's the healthy way of the company to always grow up. So leading all the people, it's always taking them for a unique person, believe in
Hmm.
them, and
Yeah.
say you cannot be in the same room with people that are no more smart than you. If they are more smart than you, that's the the best place to be, because you really need to learn to other people. You cannot come to a room and say, "Oh my God, I'm the best. I know everything." No, it's everyday learning. So we don't really lead. We work as a team, and we always say, "Okay, what is your opinion? Let's see. What is your problem? Don't get it. It's okay with that." It's for sure we have, like I say, hierarchies, but at the same time, we are there to help and to work a team.
Yeah, I agree with you about seeing the people you work with as humans, and also asking for their feedback, asking what they think about certain decisions you want to make. Because as a leader, you don't want to make all the decisions yourself, and of course, you come out as arrogant, which is not good. But now, I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
what is one thing basically over these years, even before founding Lux Empire, that you would say you've done, or what is one habit you would say you've actually implemented that has helped you as a leader to get along with everyone you're leading?
What is well, myself, what I implement in Lux Empire and what I bring, it's to always believe in each of us first, and always believe in other people, and implement more strategies. I'm a commercial financial strategy first of all, and we have other like LXCHR company, human research. So I have leading more than 1,000 employees. We have Lady Boss Empire when we empower women, and we do online classes. I think the most important, you like no leader, but like a motivated people. It's to always show them first with you that you believe of what you're doing. You can now say, "Oh my God, you should do it," but you tell them like, "Oh, I wanted to do that," and you never do it. So my implementing Lux Empire is to bring and to put every goal into actions to obtain a result.
True, makes sense. Believing in people you work with your employees, is really key, because when you believe in them, it helps you to delegate tasks to them and allow them to carry out our tasks because you trust that they will do a good job.
Yeah.
You've been working with investment professionals and investors for years.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, based on, for founders that are looking to probably maybe invest in some other businesses or attract investments, from your experience in finance,
Hmm.
what would you advise those founders? Let's say, for example, a founder is currently bootstrapping a startup. He wants to attract investment. He wants to attract funds from different investors or venture capitalists, or a founder that has actually grown a company to a very big company, and the founder wants to probably invest in other things. Maybe he has made a lot of money and wants to invest. What kind of investment would you advise such founders? But we'll take the first one. The first one is for founders that are trying to attract investment. What advice would you give such founders?
But someone who really looking for funding capital, it's really the first thing is know your numbers, because you know why numbers is really important. Do you know
Why?
why?
Tell me.
Huh? Because
Tell me.
numbers never lie. People can lie, but
Mm.
numbers never lie. So if you be able to present, let's say I'm an investor in this founder came to me and say, "Vanessa, I will need 1 million because I have this project in real estate. I wanted to build, I don't know, I wanted to build a really good cafe, and buy the land to build it." I say, "Okay, great, but show me the numbers. What is going to be your return, the ROI? What is going to be the APR? If we found out you're going to be able to afford, do you have some down payment?" Every person thinks, because we have that bad habit, the saying like, "Oh, you can buy everything without down payments or without money." Yes and no. It's not false at all, but you need to find a way to always prove that you have a backup, because if you wanted to raise capital, it's important to show the investors that that capital is gonna grow up. I don't think so you will love to just give your money like that because he have a pretty face, or just because he's good to sell, because people, it's easy to talk. It's numbers never lie. So put your things together. Strategies, that's why I'm a commercial financial strategist. Life is a strategy. If you have how to do it, you have a goal, you have a way, and you can obtain the actions you're gonna do. It's show the numbers that you can do it, and it's not gonna be hard. It's not hard to find. I in Canada used to raise capital for new startups to up to 15,000, 50K at the beginning. No credit, no nothing, but it's some requirements. But they don't have money, but they still can have access to credit to start their business. But that's everything what it is strategies. So show your numbers because they never lie, and do really the good steps, and surround you with professional people. Professional people, there are no an expense, they are an investments, because they're gonna bring you back the good things. And it's better to pay and invest, like in your learning and always growing in yourself, that they just pay less cheap, and that it's not gonna be forever. Like a cloth, not being mean. You buy a pants in Walmart, after three washes, the black one is gonna be
Yeah,
like white
it's
one.
gone. Yeah, it's gone. True. True.
And for the
Okay.
second one, the one who have money
Mm-hmm.
and he don't know what to do with his money. That's the type of people, like I met both people. It's more to, it's why they feel comfortable, because not because people have money you should just present any type of business and investments and say, yeah, you should invest in here. And Rick Sampaio, we care about the people. Even if he has money, is what do you really like? What do you really understand? Because it can, like, somebody doesn't understand nothing about coffee, and we came to a coffee shop. It's really growing up. It's the best coffee shop. You can invest in that. But if if it's a Colombia coffee, Brazilian coffee, the difference, how it be roasted and all that, the person gonna say, yeah, okay. It's important for us to be like implicated in the process and understand where his money or her money goes and how it's growing. So it's important to ask them, what is the fields you feel comfortable, or what is the field you would love to learn. So even if they don't know, we already know they will love to invest in that, so we're gonna first like teaching them about the field so they can understand more the numbers, because numbers never lie.
Yeah, yeah. I love the point you made about founders who are trying to raise capital to get your numbers in order, because that's what proves that you can do this thing. And then the second point you made about founders who have made money or entrepreneurs who have made money and want to invest, Luke's Empire doesn't just, allow them invest in anything. Luke's Empire finds out what they are interested in,
Yes.
right? What they love, right?
Yes.
And if they don't know that, you teach them, and
Yes.
then they invest. That makes a lot of sense. Now, Vanessa,
Yes.
let's take it a little bit back
Yeah.
regarding the first set of people, leaders or founders who they know what they are building, they understand the space they are building, they have the right skills,
Hmm.
but for some reasons, their products have not gotten some traction or their company is not growing. What would be your advice for this kind of founders? They've built something, they built a product, um, an MVP, minimum viable product. It has gone live, but for some reason the product has not picked up. But it's a good product. What would be your advice? How would you advise these leaders or founders to approach this unique problem?
But like a commercial financial strategy, I've been doing audits in companies
Okay.
it's very different areas in a company. You can be an amazing entrepreneur, you can be an amazing CEO, but if something is lacking inside your organization, is gonna you're gonna see it. Like you don't
Mm.
see the growing your result. You can have the best product, even a pen, it can be amazing. You sell it, but it's something like the net profit. It's never like there. We say and financial, like a company can be viable, like they can make millions of dollars in sales, but
Yeah.
they cannot necessarily be profitable. Like their
Oh.
net profit need to be according to that. So let's see, a company make $2 million. People say, "Oh my God, I made $2 million in sale." Yeah, but your net profit is 100K. Eh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then
It's
you
not
and
profitable.
something is a problem. As for sure,
It's not
so
profitable.
you already, and you see, numbers never lie, because you
Mhm.
saw that. Let's see, they are in the pens and food section, so it's 5%. Even that 5%, 2 millions, you should have more, so it's something going wrong. So we're going inside. I already did that. We're going inside to see the difference area. What you're doing for sales, are your sales team doing like the right thing, the follow-ups? Are your expenses, are you paying too much, like your products, your costs? What are you doing? So it's, you go see the numbers, and you go see the, if to make the company profitable, so the net profit can increase. So your sales can be always be 3, 4, 5 million, but you will know that at the end your net profit after paying taxes, you always gonna be the percentage in the sectors around the world that in your field. So that's most, the problem will be to check and do a deep analyze and all the areas necessary: sales, marketing, even accountability. Sometimes it's not even that you have too many people just to put little data entries. So go pay a good accountant, and he will do the things, and you will pay less. So reduce expense, or what is happening, or the product cost 2 times, or the people. You really need to just always go looking and do every, I don't know, every week when you have
Yeah.
problems with our
Mm-hmm.
clients. We do every week sessions to see follow-ups, at least for the first 6 months. They have great results.
What you said is really correct, is on point, because there's a reason why certain things happen in business, and things don't just happen. And as a leader, when things are going wrong in your company or in your startup, you know, unless you're not, yes, unless you're not involved in the day-to-day running of the business, if something is going wrong, you will know. And I love what you said about doing an analysis,
Mm-hmm.
right? Preferably get an expert to do an analysis,
Is
your
that,
sales, marketing, accounts, analyze your whole business and find out where the problem is. Like you said, get your numbers right. And then with that, correct the things that has to be corrected. And then you could pick up from there.
yes.
Now,
But sometimes, I will add, sometimes the first analyze we do in Lux Empire is the
mhm.
CEO themselves.
Oh,
Because sometimes we lack of trusting us. We know we are good, but sometimes
yeah.
we lacking of trust, or we lacking of delegation. So we're gonna to do everything,
Oh,
because at the beginning we were used to do everything. We were receptionists, we were
yeah.
secretary, we were this, we were that. So sometimes it can be always from the CEO themselves saying like, I'm not delegating enough, or I'm taking too long, or I'm procrastinating. So no, it's really a deep analysis, starting with everyone.
Vanessa, you're making a whole lot of sense, because I sometimes struggle with procrastination. Sometimes I struggle with that. I try to put some things away. I said I'll do that later, and sometimes I end up not doing those things. So
Mm.
I get your point about procrastination. And again, sometimes I also struggle with something that could be a perfectionist. I might want to do everything myself. But like you're saying now, analyzing the CEO or the founder or the leader would help, is this person really delegating enough? Does he have too much in his plate?
Mm-hmm.
So, what if a situation whereby a founder struggles with procrastination and delegation, for example? Are
Mm.
there things that Lux Empire would recommend for the founder to do to improve on those areas?
Oh, for
Or what do you recommend? What do you suggest that could
And
help the person?
Lux Empire, sir, we already live it. I live it by myself at the beginning. I'm more than 20
Mm,
years in business, and I
mm,
was a person who procrastinate. You know what? Because you say the word.
yeah, yeah.
Normally, a person who procrastinate is a perfectionist person.
Mm,
Normally, it's
true.
usually I all the CEOs
Yeah, you
and
have a point. You want to get it
perfectionists.
perfect.
Exactly. That's why we procrastinate because we want everything perfect. So even if we have the sheets, let's see, or a document, it's nice, but oh no, my God, that tab is doesn't have one. It needs to have one and all that. Okay. Yes, people gonna see it, but does not make that huge difference. It's not like you putting everything like wrong. So you're gonna say, okay, tomorrow I will correct. So that tomorrow it's another tomorrow because you have another things and you don't have like a schedule of task and you start procrastinating. And
Mm,
you wanna the perfectionist is not only in a document, it's only in and their self too, inside and personal side. They want everything perfect. They say everything in time and they want to do everything from someone too. Like if you
mm,
have kids, you want to do
yeah.
everything perfect, so it takes more time, more time, more time. So you procrastinate in other areas. So in Lux Empire, we recommend first I came and say, hey, I used to be a procrastinator person. And now I'm laughing. At the beginning, it's hard
Yeah.
to admit it, and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
god. But I have mentors so that say it's okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's a process. You need to
Yeah, it's a
accept.
process.
Yes, a process. You need to accept the way you were. And the good thing is because you mentioned it, you wanted to grow up. For that type of person, like they are procrastinating, the most important we do in Lux Empire and by myself, I say, do little task by 20 minutes. And don't
Mm,
put you too much in a day. And don't think about it, you're procrastinating. The tasks that are so hard to you, don't do it. Try to find a way after, like if you can have a help or something like that, and do at least like in your whole day 20 hard like tasks. You're gonna feel so good clicking in that task, things done, 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 and you don't procrastinate anymore. And you need to learn to nothing in this world is perfect. The most
mm-hmm.
important is the way you show people. Is your person. Your smile is now your business card. It's how you're gonna present the things. If you're really the person so intelligent but you don't know nothing about technology, but when you talk, people are like, oh my God. Okay, so let's find people, delegate, and it's hard to delegate because it always implicate money, how we're gonna pay them, even if there are no employees, there are like subcontractors. So the first thing it's just to the first thing in Lux Empire when we find a procrastinator person, a CEO, it's you need to accept it. We cannot work with someone that doesn't accept his procrastinating. And I can
Mm,
tell you sometimes it's hard. More with elders. They're,
yeah.
well, I do it my way. That's the way I always do it. So it's the most important.
Yeah. Like I love the point you made about do small tasks,
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes, right? Do small tasks, leave the other ones, focus on that 20 minutes, finish it up, and then go to the next one. And the second point you made about nothing is perfect in this world. And that's so true. Nothing is really perfect. So don't wait till you do it before it gets very good. Before, done is better than not done, So I agree with that. Now let's move a bit into core finance.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I noticed in really good entrepreneurs and founders and leaders is the ability to manage money, right? Because the funds for the company is not personal funds, it's the company funds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your years in finance and investment, what are some tips or strategies you've actually advised or given to founders or leaders on how to manage funds well, especially for startups?
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, startup has gotten some investment. What are some little things you can advise startups or startup founders and leaders on how they can manage money to get the best use out of it?
The first thing, like I always say, when you are a startup, you really need to know what you really want. Because a lot of people, they don't know what they want. Even if they say, I know what I want. But it's not true. It's false because when you ask them, okay, so this is the way. No, I want to like this. I want to like this. So at the end, you can see it. They don't know what they want. So you really need to sit down and write on a paper what I really want with this company, why I start up this company, and go research with a professional and accounting that I need to be incorporated because it's different way that I need to register at the self-employment, what will be my impacts in my personal life and incorporate. So let's say you're incorporating and you have separate your money, your personal money with your business money, have different accounts. If you cannot have different accounts because you are, let's see, self-employed, at least have two different checkings accounts. That's the
Okay.
most important. Or savings, like, and your checking is gonna be your business, and savings is gonna be your personal. But always separate, because that's the hard thing with the startups. They do, they mix it up everything, and after that they say, "Oh, Vanessa, I'm not doing money with my business." Yeah, but because you see that expense, like, is your personal expense. It's not the business not doing right. It's you not doing right. Not being in the mean way. But you really need just to separate, and you really need to find the way how you want to be paid. How much do you need monthly for your personal life? Because an incorporation is another person. You are managed that company. So if you're not able to manage that company, so how can you manage yourself? Like, and even that, it's reverse. If you're not able to manage yourself and you're always in a debt, and always, so how are you gonna manage that company? So you really need to admit, yeah, that maybe you're gonna need help. That doesn't mean like you cannot have a company, but you really need to learn to budget, or how much I need a percentage to put in savings, what I really want, why I start the company. I'm gonna be able, because a lot of I'm being a teacher, for the government in Canada. We teach how to do business plans. It takes 3 months to each one. So I'm so used with the startups, and sometimes they came with that idea, and I show them this, and after, no, maybe this one, and maybe this one. So they finished at least with three different ideas and the business plan if for another project. But at the end, we always tell them, like, what do you really want? And be sure, like, if your goal is to buy a home, like have your home, start up a business is not gonna bring you buy a home next year.
Oh.
It's not necessary. Like, it can be some ways, but normally 95% we saw it. If you are followed with a good strategy experts and all that, it can be something, but we never recommend an investment. It's what you want. But if not, don't start up a business. It's another baby. You really need to take care. People don't see it like that. Some people, they see they never, and they say, "Oh, I'm a copy paste. Me too. I wanted to be an entrepreneur." It's not an easy life. People think like, "Oh my God, we make a lot of money." We went through a lot. Like, our 9 to 5 become to a 5 to 9. you know,
Yeah.
no
5 to 9.
weekends, no family time. But for what? For having that time when our 5 to 9 will become 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Always not working and having good life with our family. But all that is a strategy. So the startups really need to manage their personal money, doing budget, and the company the same, and how they're gonna be being paid. You want a salary? How much do you will need monthly to be able to live, like your family beside, if you're not with your husband, wife, or whatever family, so how much you will need to be able to pay your rent, all your necessaries and your life, and the rest is the company money. It's really the company money, and how you better use that money and not going everything to the government, paying taxes. You really need to surround with good experts to recommend you what will be the best ways. It's a lot of way. People are so, no, in the mean way. I don't want to say that word, but educated is not enough education, financial education, the way like how you can be still wealthy and not pay too much taxes and not being illegal at all, because it's people are so mean to government. They say, oh my god, we pay so much tax, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, government put some programs to us to know how we can be wealthy too. It's what we really want in life. And then this experts, but at the same time, there's an investment, it's money. So if you have your business, surround with good professional and know your numbers. I always came to people and say, know your numbers, because sometimes I can share quickly a quick experience. And
Go ahead, please.
DR, if I can quickly, so people can know. You don't know your numbers. So in DR, I went and it was a rental company car. A client wanted to be part of it and invest in that. So I was like, okay, so yeah, you really do a lot of sales. Yeah, we do 20 sales. Okay, but how much it costs? Who is paying the maintenance? How much is the insurance? Oh, but that's all for the cars, all for the cars. They can't even answer me correctly. So you see, they don't know the numbers. They just do it because they do it, and they think they doing money because they're always receiving money, but they don't check that they always their pocket the money is always going out. So it's in and out. So where is the net profit? So it's not profitable at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I appreciate you saying that because money management is really important when it comes to leading a company. If you can't manage finance, then it's going to be a huge, huge problem. You can't lead the company.
Yeah.
And recently, many companies have been able to, you know, go out of business
Mm-hmm.
because they were not able to manage money.
Yeah.
So now, still on the issue or topic about finance, some founders, embezzle company funds. I've read stories about founders that use company funds to buy a house or use company funds to, they spend it lavishly, go for expensive vacation. I'm not saying vacation is bad. Vacation is okay. The founder needs to at least relax and unwind.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen situations whereby the money was mismanaged.
Yes.
What are some ways to curb it or curtail it? I know sometimes investors just can't control it because they've invested in the person in the company. But then again, the person would decide how the founder or the leader would decide how the money is used in the company.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some ways founders can help themselves to ensure that they don't spend too much, or they still don't underutilize the resources they have.
But normally in a wealthy company and a well management company, even if you have difficulty to manage your money, you always have, even in startups, we always recommend to have a board of directors.
Mhm.
So the first thing is you really need to be open mind to receive critiques. Like it's not in the bad way, but in the good way, and to learn to listen advice from others because they want your best and they see things you cannot see. So if you have a board of directors and you tell them, okay, this is the expense, and they don't agree with that expense to be out, and they say the company is making like initial expense, like on a vacation at 3,009, and that month your net profit was $1,000, that's for sure they're gonna tell him. But your best you need to have a CFO. So your best friend, your best person to be advised from is a person who know numbers, who can tell you inside the company, your accountant, your tax specialist, somebody, your board of directors that you're really gonna trust in the sense like seeing like they really wanted to help you, what it will the best expenses to take up. That's why I came again. You see, like initial vacation. It's not bad to take vacation. That's true. But how much do you need personal?
Yeah.
Talk to your accountant and say, listen, the company need to wire me monthly 30K. I will be happy. Fine. Everyone sign, the board of director approve it. Fine, you receive your 30K. Why you do with your 30K is your problem. But some expense they go through the company because you go with clients too but that's why you really need to talk with your accountant and see your finance department like what is will be the expense of the next month, of every 3 months, quarterly, every twice a year. You really need to have your board of directors inside, and the best thing is just to open mind and be the best person to always take advice, because people don't take advice from people who are learning, who already did something. Like somebody like it say Ferrari is not good, but he's driving a Toyota. He don't know if Ferrari is not good.
Oh, yeah, I
Not
agree.
being me with Toyota is good. It's just the type of people you really need to take advice. That's the way I mean it. So you don't know to my. Let's see, we have friends and they say, "Oh yeah, you should open a company and barber," but they're working in Best Buy and Jig Squad. Okay,
Mm.
thank you. You know, how I gonna do that? I don't know nothing, So always surround people with spares and like be open man to take advice.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because most of the founders that end up squandering company funds, most of them don't take advice from the board because the board is there to checkmate and manage the founder and the leaders in the company. But sometimes when the board advises, it is left for the founder to either accept the advice and work on it or reject the advice. Now, thanks for saying that. Now, let's move a little bit around um, work ethics, right? For leaders today, I know you've had conversations and you've had dealings with a lot of leaders over the years.
Mhm.
What would you say is one or two top things that top leaders or founders in that you've managed or you've had transactions with, the ones that are doing excellently well, what would you say are some of the skills or ethics they have in their company or in their business that has helped them? For
Commit.
example, say one that is, let's say one of them is super good with managing people. That could be a good skill he has. So the businesses that are doing well in your portfolio, what are some things that the founders have done over the years that you've noticed that is one recurring thing among the founders that are doing well?
But I say a lot of the people I met, they have commitment. That's the first getting
Oh,
things.
commitment.
Yeah, commitment. If you don't have commitment to your company, it's everything is gonna go wrong. And discipline, because you really need to be disciplined, like follow your discipline in personal life and in business, to always do the same things, like repeating things. Sometimes it can be hard, but that it can go to the goal you really need want to achieve. And commitment, discipline, and some people they say it is no faith, but they believe in themselves. So, and people they believe in God. So it's about always be open to say, okay, let's find a way. So it's commitment, discipline, and open mind, I will say, and creative. They're always
Mm.
creative.
Commitment. I think commitment is really important. You have to be able to stick to what you're doing, focus on it, and discipline too, because it's easy to get distracted and get attracted with other things. But being disciplined, focusing on it, working on it every day is really key. What
Yeah.
are some red flags that you've noticed in leaders over the years? What are some red flags you've noticed? Things that are not looking well, that you know that if this person doesn't correct it, there's going to be problem.
It's arrogance.
Aside not knowing their numbers, what are some other red flags that you've noticed?
But first, when you met, I did a lot of networking in the past year in the Tanzania, a
Yeah.
lot of them, because I was in the radio too. So the first thing I can easily detect in a founder and a CEO, it's arrogance.
Oh.
When most of the time when a CEO is arrogant, is because they want to show up. They wanted to do showtime more than they really. Maybe they're doing well, but now because they're doing well, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm good," you know. And that's not good because
Yeah.
to be humble.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
only ethic, humble. I most of the 98% of the CEOs, I they are really wealth and they living a wealthy life. They are humble. They don't
Mm.
wear luxury brands. They're good. They
Mm-hmm.
went on good vacation. They can afford to go to Monaco like every week, you know, but
Yeah.
because they are humble and they are
Mm-hmm.
commitment and they have discipline and they are
Yeah.
creative.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, arrogance. And after that, when you start talking with them and you can see they don't know their numbers. So, yeah, that's the red flags.
Yeah. Arrogance. And I think, you know, every founder, every leader, that the top guys, the guys at the top of their career, the Jeff Bezoses,
Mm-hmm.
the Mark Zuckerbergs, the
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk, I don't think they would have gotten there if they were arrogant. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think people would have taken a bet on them if they were arrogant.
Yeah.
They must have shown some sort of humility for someone to be able to bet on them and say, you know what, I'm going to give you $3 million. I'm going to give you $10 million. So I don't think it pays for founders who are arrogant. You end up losing. Even if someone takes a bet on you the first time, subsequently, if the person notices that you're arrogant, I don't think the person will be able to take a bet on you again.
Yeah. No.
It's gonna.
Yeah, but because before selling a service or a product,
Yeah.
you're selling yourself. No,
Hmm.
I really hate the word sales, but you presenting yourself first.
Hmm.
So like you say, how these people we gonna like buy an iPhone if a Steve Jobs was an arrogant person since the beginning to show
Yeah.
us and to prove us that Apple was the best thing. I have everything
Exactly.
else. You know,
Exactly.
like you say, Jeff Bezos and even Elon Musk. Why I
Yeah.
should buy a Tesla if like Elon Musk was so arrogant? You know,
Hmm.
yeah, sometimes it happened. People like if
Yeah, it happens.
yeah, it happened. They make them they really got deep in the person, so they
Exactly.
overreact. And that is, we
Mm.
are human beings, and what
True.
I say at the beginning, nothing is perfect.
Yeah. 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 That's true.
We
That's
just
true.
need to accept the way it is and the person who it is.
Yeah. I love those points you've made, because humility, however you look at it, success comes with some level of ego. At some point, you just have to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what it is. But you're the one seeking for some sort of funding from these investors. So are you going to steal the money from them? No. So you have to be able to humbly request the money, and they'll be able to give you. So if you were arrogant and you were that good, maybe you wouldn't be able to seek for investment. I don't know if you get my
No,
point.
and
Right.
it's a
So
lot of things happen, you see, because like the most famous film, that The Wolf of Wall Street, like
yeah.
Jerry Buffalo, well,
Mhm.
he was stealing people, but he wasn't arrogant at the beginning. He knowing how
Mhm.
to tell
Yeah.
people they were needing, and he get a lot of money. So like you say, humility, Arrogance is not good. And at the end, yes, when you become wealthy, sometimes some people get into that and it's not good. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end, everything's coming down. Like I'm a believer, so God always show you the way like you're doing wrong.
True, true, true. Vanessa, let's talk a bit about you as a person, right?
Mm.
Over the years, um, what are some tough decisions you've been able to make as a leader? What are some tough decisions you probably will look back and say, oh, that was a very tough decision, but I'm happy I made that decision? What would that be?
Letting go. That's the
Oh.
hard thing we a CEO can like a procrastinator, a ex-procrastinator person, an ex-perfectionist person, to
Mm-hmm.
let it go, to like always being for everyone and learn to say no.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard thing to do. But at the
Mm.
end, after you say, "Oh my God, was the best things to do." It was hard, but it was the more a smart decision to do, and then listen to others too, because like I said, CEOs, we are so used to like, oh, we do everything ourselves, I'm good, you know but we
Mm.
don't take advice. So me,
Yeah.
I started taking advice, so now I'm proud just not to say it, I can
Mm-hmm.
show it people like
Yeah.
I'm doing that,
Mm-hmm.
so let it go. I start like, oh, how do you do that? No, really, I can do that. I'm sorry, I will help you in 2 weeks. If it's okay with you, okay. If you want it right now, I'm sorry. But it's because what? You cannot always say yes, 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 and not be commitment to do it. Because
Yes.
that is gonna be bad. And that
Yeah.
is something bad because you always say yes, so people are always expecting something from you, and it's normal. People who the most the person who is always disappointed is because it's the person always expecting from something from others. You can never expect something for others. Do it by yourself, because expecting is literally it goes with deception a lot of time. So you do it yourself, you be commitment. If
Mm-hmm.
you can do it, do it. But that people will say, oh my God, really? Okay, I wait 2 weeks for Vanessa,
Mm-hmm.
but she really make that happen. And
Yeah.
oh my God, Vanessa said yes, but I'm running after her. Nothing happened. Oh my God, I need to always call her, and now I'm late. And it's not good. So it's let it go.
Yeah. Letting go and saying no.
Yeah,
It's not easy to say no, especially sometimes you want to come through for people, but you can't do everything. You just have to be able to let some go, focus on the little that you can say yes to, and execute them, because you don't want to say yes to everything and you don't want to keep up to it.
yeah,
Say no to some, pick the little you can do, say yes to them, and then stay committed to it. Now, finally, I wanted to ask you: do you
yes.
have any advice for other leaders? If you're to advise a leader or other leaders out there, what would be your one advice to them?
Oh my God! To all the leaders, we have many type of leaders. So I will say
Mhm.
with startups leaders that
Yeah.
never discourage themselves, never give up. Like they always, it's more never give up. To leaders that are like challenging, like growing their businesses,
Mhm.
it's something like believe in you and your team, lead them to the goal, and you always communication. I
Yeah.
think I will resume everyone, and the wealthy ones, they always do communication. So for all the leaders, like always continue to communicate. It's the best way to always growing together and personal and professional life. The real
Thank you so much.
communication.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for having this conversation with us. I learned a lot from you this few minutes we've had this conversation. Appreciate you for jumping on this call with me and chatting about finance, investments, mistakes that founders make, and work ethics and advice. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for this time you spent with us. Appreciate you and looking forward to having you next time.
Thank you. Yeah, it will be a pleasure. Maybe next time we will talk about Our Lady Boss on Fire. I have a
Yeah.
lot. So thank you so much for inviting me, and I was so great and always, always, always growing up and learning. It's for CEOs. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Hope to have you next time. Bye.